Corey, we're going to start off with the NFC. You got a good one. Cowboys at 49ers. Who you got?
All right. Coaching, easy. Give me Shanahan. I have well-documented no love for Mike McCarthy. I think that Shanahan's done a heck of a job. All the credit in the world to him for what he's done with the third string quarterback. Hands down, yes, the Cowboys won a playoff game big last week, but you also have to factor in the opponent. So, give me Shanahan all day. Offensively, obviously, San Francisco. I honestly don't know if there's an offense I would take over the 49ers right now. They've got a very good offensive line. You've got extremely talented skill position guys. They're not deep at the skill position, but between Kittle, McCaffrey, Ayuk, and Debo, that's a hell of a punch. And it's really hard to stop. And then you've got Brock Purdy just doing exactly what they need him to do.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, he's a Jimmy Garoppolo that is more athletic and is willing to push the ball down the field and take those big shots.
Yeah.
And with a guy that can do that, that offense is opened up, and it's impressive that everything is kind of lining up for San Francisco there offensively. And I know for me, Dallas, the biggest hamstring to that offense is the push to keep wanting to give Ezekiel Elliott as many carries as they do.
Ooh.
He's not the same guy. And they need to, sure, let him come in and spell, but
Paulo looked good too last game.
Yeah, his time's done.
He's probably going to sign as a free agent somewhere as a starter.
Yeah, if you can't get it in Dallas, I would leave and go start because, Tony Pollard's a very solid running back right now. He should be getting the workload right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what Dallas is doing there. And I think that kind of holds back their offense some because you're not getting as many positive plays on first down running it with Ezekiel Elliott. Defensively, I am going to still go San Francisco. The Cowboys defense was impressive. It's Micah Parsons is probably the best all-around defensive player in that game on Sunday. Hell, he might just be the best player in that game on Sunday. He's that good already. It's crazy. But San Francisco, I think, just has a lot better back end than Dallas does. And that's the real difference for me. And it also helps that you've got Nick Bosa on the 49ers that while, yes, Michael Parsons better, it's not a huge gap.
No.
Overall,
it's kind of like 8-1-8.
Yeah. If you tell me, oh no, you have to have Nick Bosa instead of Michael Parsons, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not like I can't believe that. It's like, well.
But overall, look, I know everything's trending so well for San Francisco. It seems like Dallas could come up with an upset out of nowhere. I don't know what to make of the Cowboys. I don't know what the playoff game Monday night, which I also think that having a playoff game on Monday night is really dumb and kind of puts the Cowboys at a little bit of a disadvantage with the Niners having 2 extra days. Yep. I know Shanahan pushed back and said, "Oh, those days don't mean anything," but I get the intent. I don't know that I would continue that going forward if I was the NFL. But that's
Jerry likes that.
Of course he does, because he cares more about money than he does
winning. You know what it is.
But I don't know if we learned anything from that Cowboys-Bucks game, because the Cowboys looked pretty awful last week of the season against the Commanders. Was what they did to the Bucks a product of that's who the Cowboys are and they're actually a decent team, or was that a byproduct of just how bad Tampa Bay is right now? And the fact that they probably shouldn't have been in the playoffs at all in the first place. And just how badly they backed their way in. I don't know. I can't take the Cowboys too seriously yet because they struggled down the stretch and they beat up on a bad team. San Francisco is doing everything they're supposed to for the last 2 months right now. So I know the spread, the last I saw, it's like 4 points. I like San Francisco to be able to cover. I think the Niners can run the ball well enough to kind of neutralize some of that pass rush, and they've got enough quick hits with Ayuk and Debo to help neutralize that pass rush. Yeah. And I think that the Cowboys secondary can get exploited a little bit. So give me San Francisco in this one. I'm going to say 31-20.
Oh, okay. Craig, Dallas at 49 is who you got.
Well, I'm not really going to waste time with it because I got the 49ers across the board in all categories. I think I'm not really sold on Mike McCarthy still. And I think Shanahan has done a great job having to deal with 3 different quarterbacks throughout the season. They're at one point they were 3-4. Now they finished off the regular season with 10 wins in a row. Then they just won against Seattle, so they won 11 games in a row, longest winning streak in the league. Obviously, they have the best defense in the league, so that goes without saying. But just the fact that Brock Purdy came in and he's thrown 16 touchdowns and 3 picks in 7 games, and what crazy had to do with everything going on. Excuse me. You know, I know they got Christian McCaffrey. And I know at some point they lost George Kittle for a little bit. They lost Debo for a little bit. I think they even lost what's the left tackle's name? Played for the
They did. Trent
Williams.
I would say Trent Richardson for some reason. Trent Williams. They lost him for a little bit. So, you know, they've had to overcome a lot. I know Dallas has as well, but Mike McCarthy, man, I'm just waiting for it to happen. I think it's going to happen this week. Offense, like I said, I'm picking 49ers. I think Dallas obviously had a great game last week. Dak, for the first time in 7 games, did not throw a pick. It was definitely his best game of the season.
Yeah.
Came at the right time, and they went out there and they did what they had to do. He ran the ball. He even did a nice quarterback bootleg that looked like the one from years ago with Peyton Manning, the Broncos. So everything looked good, man. Everything worked out for them in that game. It looked good on paper. Going into it, I thought they were the better team, but I just thought they would just implode on themselves like they normally do. And unfortunately, or fortunately, they came out and they won the game. So, you know, hats off to them. But I just think the 49ers, what their offense is doing, is clicking right now. Purdy's just out there. He's really seeing the field. He's playing well. He's able to get the ball down the field. The offense just looks a lot better. If Christian McCaffrey can run the ball and they didn't get him the ball in space enough in terms of him catching passes. They didn't really need to, I guess. But I think he's going to be utilized a lot, especially having to deal with Parsons. They Debo looked good. Brown Euclid's looked pretty good so far this year, and Kittle is like the number 1 target for him. So I think their offense is going to still be flourishing. I don't know what Ezekiel Elliott is doing in this offense anymore. I think he's just there because of his name and because of his contract.
Yes.
I just don't know
the contract,
what they're going to get out of him going forward. I don't know what to expect. I don't really think they're going to be able to run the ball anyway because 49ers run defense. But I don't know what Zeke Elliott is capable of anymore. So I kind of want to see what happens to him this week. I think I don't know what he's going to get. I think Pollard is clearly the better back. He's just not getting paid as much as Zeke, so they have to figure out a way to make that work. I don't know. I wouldn't let Pollard go, but they're going to have a decision to make next season.
Yep.
Like I said, the defense, the Cowboys once again lead the league in turnover or takeaways. So you know their defense is all over the place, taking passes and being able to score off of those. That's why their points per game is so high. That's one of the reasons, anyway. But for the 49ers defense, man, like obviously it's going to be a good matchup to watch Parsons do his thing on one side and then watch Bosa do his thing on the other side. So that's going to be interesting to see who can put more pressure on which quarterback and who's going to make more plays. But I just, once again, I still think that other cornerback side, whoever's over there, opposite Trey Diggs, they need to be exploited. And I think the 49ers can exploit it. They have, just like the Bucks did, they have two good wide receivers. I thought the Bucks were going to do something with it. They didn't. I think the 49ers can as well, or 49ers can. And I think they have multiple people that can go at them, Kittle or Ayuk or Kittle or Debo. So, I mean, they have plenty of options. Even Chris McCaffrey, they wanted to.
Yep.
They have plenty of options. So I just don't know what Dallas defense is going to do. Unless they can get pressure on Purdy, I'm just not seeing it. I just don't know. I think this is I know this is a revenge game for Dallas. This is like their Super Bowl type thing or whatever they want to call it. From what I've been hearing from some Cowboys fans at work.
Crazy. Me too.
Well, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens.
Super Bowl.
I just don't think the Cowboys are going to win this game. I didn't pick them last week. I'm not picking them again this week. I just think the 49ers are the better team. And I think at home this year versus being on the road, they were able to overcome it last year thanks to penalties and poor clock management.
Mm-hmm.
That could possibly come back again this season. But even still, I just think the 49ers are the better team. I think they'll win this game. I got the 49ers 34-24.
Mo, Cowboys versus 49ers. Who you got?
Coaching. I'm gonna go Shanahan. Pretty much I'm gonna go San Fran across the board. This is tough. It's gonna be one on the line of scrimmage. And I don't sound cliche, but I'm gonna go San Fran. 27-24.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a tough game.
All right. So coaching, I got Shanahan. I don't like him, but Mike McCarthy has went 12-5 2 years in a row, so got some respect. I got my respect. I gotta go Shanahan. What he's done with Brock Purdy, phenomenal. Mr. Irrelevant is now relevant, and he's probably gonna be the 49ers starting quarterback going forward. And that's Shanahan, man. Shout out to him. Offense, even though Dallas has one of the highest scoring offenses, I just don't think I think y'all hit it on the head with Zeke Elliott. I do think it's his contract. I don't know if they bring back Tony Pollard. He might want to go start and get the most money, which I'm not mad at. Teams need running backs. He'll go somewhere and start. And then you got CeeDee Lamb, who's phenomenal. Schultz is phenomenal. Dak is good, but Dak is better than Purdy. But running back, Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell are better than Zeke and Pollard. Receivers, this is unquestionable. You got to put McCaffrey in there. And then you got Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle. George Kittle has been balling since Brock Purdy came. Balling. And with Brock Purdy's on a rookie contract, they're probably going to bring back Ayuk. Man, they are loaded. And can get Bosa. The San Francisco is loaded, man. Defense, I like Dallas' defense. But like y'all said, they're vulnerable on the opposite side. And Tampa could not take advantage of it. But San Francisco will. I think Dallas, I think you're right, Corey. They're going to pass rush, and they're going to establish the running game, and they're going to get Debo in the backfield. They're going to get Ayuk on some screens. They're going to get Kittle on some screens, Debo on some screens. They're going to open it up because they're going to start getting big games. Purdy's going to become more comfortable, even though he probably became more comfortable after the first half of last week's game. And I think the 49ers opened this up. And I think the problem is with Dallas is they're not consistent. You'll get a great game out of Dak, and he'll beat Tom Brady, and he'll come out in San Francisco and throw a pick and fumble, and they lose the game. That's the consistencies of Dak. I think that San Francisco takes advantage of it. San Francisco is a really sound, disciplined team, and I think they win based on consistency. And I think the 49ers win 31-24. You know, I don't think it's a close game. And one of my good friends, Craig knows, Todd, I was like, hey, you know, this is the conversation, right? He goes, sad. I was like, hey man, you think Cowboys have a chance? He goes, saddest part is I don't trust us to remain consistent. Then I said, oh, I haven't made my picks yet. Hope it's a good game. We got legit shots to go to the Super Bowl. I didn't respond. And then he sends another same text message. This is how Dallas fans are. I was like, listen, man, I'm not going to respond to that. You just said you were consistent, and now you're saying you're going to the Super Bowl. Listen, man, they're not.